Benjamin Franklin said that in life there are two ways to build wealth. One is to make more money, and the other is to spend less. Well, in the last video, we talked about reducing expenses, going back and taking a look at the financial assessment that we've done and going line by line by line through that and looking for opportunities to creatively and sometimes painfully reduce expenses with the goal of being able to generate enough cash flow that we can pay off debt and start saving and investing for the future. So that's one half of Ben Franklin's equation. But the second half is increasing income, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Many times people will sit back and they work one job, and the income that they get from that job is the income that they have. And they look at reducing their expenses, but they fail to realize that there are possibilities for being able to do things that are different, or ways to do things that will increase their income. So let's look at that. Let's look at increasing income. Some of the simple things that we can do are things like working overtime. If you have the opportunity to work overtime, maybe it's a good idea to take that. I'll give you a really, really good example from my early married life. My wife and I got married in 1976. We lived in Illinois, and she was working as a teacher at that time, which didn't pay very good money. And I was making quite a bit more money than she did. I was working as an engineer and then eventually as a manufacturing floor supervisor for a company in central Illinois. But I had opportunities for tons and tons and tons of overtime. And so I worked pretty much, I think the last 2 years that we lived in Illinois, I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But we forced ourselves to live off the meager income that my wife was bringing in, and we banked virtually everything that I made. Well, it turned out that that was a real blessing, because we decided to move from Illinois back to Connecticut because we were going to start our family, and we wanted our children to be able to grow up around their grandparents. So we moved back to Connecticut. We thought we had our house in Illinois sold, and so we purchased a home here in Connecticut. And as it turned out, the house in Illinois, the deal there fell through. And so I wound up sitting on 2 mortgages for 4 years. And in the midst of that, my wife got pregnant with our first daughter, and she quit work to stay at home and be a full-time mom. If we had not had that money squirreled away from all of the overtime that I worked, we would have gone under financially. But we had that nest egg that we could draw on a little bit. And it's the same thing for you. If you can find a way to be able to work overtime at work, that's going to help boost your cash flow. So certainly take care of that. Some people decide to do part-time work. Maybe you can work at a local pizza shop doing delivery services. There are tons of part-time jobs out there that people can get. You can be an Uber or a Lyft driver or something like that. So there's plenty of opportunities to get part-time income that, again, will add and will boost your income. A couple of quick stories from people who I have coached. One couple, she was a teacher, he worked as a carpenter. And one of the ways, well, actually 2 of the ways that they decided that they could increase their income is that he would pick up part-time carpentry work outside of the company that he normally worked for, and she would take on tutoring work in order to be able to increase their income. And that, in combination with reducing their expenses, brought them to a very nice positive cash flow, and they're excited now because they're paying off their debt and things are working well. Another couple that I coached, she had a great interest in photography, and so she has now started booking photography engagements and is making an extra $500 a week just doing that. So there's plenty of opportunities for increasing your income. Another thing to think about is home-based businesses. there are a ton of home-based businesses out there where with very little money down, you can start your own business, and while it may take a while to begin to generate cash flow, not only can you generate cash flow, but there's the opportunity with many home-based businesses to begin developing over a period of time passive income, which means that you do the job once and you get paid over and over and over for doing it. But get creative. Stop and think about, what are the things that you are good at? What are the things that you're passionate about? One of the stories that I absolutely love is a story about a young couple where this gentleman was a disabled veteran, and his wife worked, but between the money that she was making and the little bit of a disability pension that he got from the military, they were really struggling financially. And they finally hired a financial coach to work with them. And when the financial coach was there, he was walking around the property with the gentleman, and there was this little outbuilding that he had. And he said, gee, what's in there? And he said, I really enjoy repairing guns. And so he said, I have friends and stuff who give me guns. And he said, I repair them, I clean them up, I make new parts for them, that sort of stuff. And he said, well, gee, he said, are you really good at it? And he said, yeah. He said, I'm really good at it. He said, but he said, I really, really love doing it. And he said, that sparked an idea in the financial coach's mind. He began processing through it with this guy. And bottom line, this guy started a gun repair business, doing something that he loved to do. And within 6 months, he was pulling in $5,000 a month from his little gun repair business. So you never know where creative thought is going to be able to take you. But the bottom line is that there are tons of ways to increase your income. And by increasing your income and reducing your expenses, you can create a wonderful positive cash flow through which you can reduce your debt and build wealth. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you. Go have a wonderful day today, and I'll see you in the next video.